Alright guys, I'm here with Turtle Quirk, the Attack on Titan master. And we're going to be talking about Attack on Titan because I know a lot of you guys have asked me to cover the series, but I haven't because I just haven't fully read it. But on the plane ride here, I read the first 5 chapters, and I kind of know sprinkles of things that happen here and there, but we're going to be deep diving into the series today. I mean, we're going like spoilers, talking about the ending, talking about everything, and I'm basically just going to be asking Turtle the key questions because, like, after reading the first 5 chapters, I have so many of them. So the first one.
Okay, let's hear this one.
What are Titans? Like, what truly are they? Because obviously there's some secret, and I want to know what that is.
So this was the biggest secret of the first 3 seasons, basically. So Titans are essentially human beings, but it's a specific race of humans called the Eldians. So the Eldians are basically the only type of human that can turn into a Titan, and because of that, a lot of them, we'll get into this a bit later, but a lot of them were exiled to the walls. So when we meet them in the first episode, every single person living within the walls is an Eldian, and only they can turn into Titans. And then across the world, there are other Eldians sprinkled around.
So even like Haneth, or whatever his name is.
Yeah,
he's Eldian.
Everyone we know in the first 3 seasons is an Eldian.
And they've been isolated because of this?
Essentially, yeah. But the weird thing is they've been almost self-isolated. So they weren't forced to live where they're living in the walls. They were made to live there by a king 100 years ago. He's the one who decided we all need to go to this island for his own stupid reasons.
So that's the significance of 100 years.
Yeah.
Because they talk about that in the beginning. Okay.
They do. And one of the great things I love about this series is that we're told this from the beginning, like, oh yeah, humanity was wiped out 100 years ago. And we believe it because it's like, oh, the narrator's telling us this, like, you know, this is what happened. It's not really what happened. There's a whole other story. The narrator was lying to us from the very start. So,
wait, was he lying to us or was he fed misinformation?
The narrator told us what most people are told. So I guess in that sense, we were in the position of someone on the island. We're just being told this stuff and we believe it, but it's not really true.
Okay, so let's clear this up because I've been told this by some of you guys that the walls and where we come to in the beginning of the series is actually located in Madagascar. Is that the case, or?
Yes. No, I'm joking.
Okay.
So the world of Attack on Titan, if you look at a map of Earth, if you flip it upside down, that is the world of Attack on Titan. And the place where most of the story takes place is in an island off the coast of what would be Africa. So in a sense, it is similar. It's positioned similarly to where Madagascar might be. I don't know exactly where Madagascar is on the map, but I know it's an island near Africa, I'm pretty sure. So in one sense, you can say that it is like Madagascar, but it's nothing like the movie, any of them. And
not Chris Rock?
No Chris Rock.
Zebra?
No,
okay.
no zebras. Some cows, but yeah, nothing more than that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, why though? Why did they make the Colossal Titan come and break down the wall specifically at that time?
So there's so many reasons, but it's quite political, to be honest. So we're getting into spoiler territory here, but outside the walls and outside the island where the story is set, there's a whole other world of people. And these people are pissed off at everyone on the island because for like thousands of years, Eldians dominated the world with Titans, with the Colossal Titan, with all the types of Titans. And it was only once the Eldian Empire was destroyed that the other countries finally got a bit of freedom, you know, because they've been oppressed for 2,000 years. And so Mali is the main antagonist of the series, the country of Mali. And they have a lot of different aims, and one of their aims is to steal the founding Titan, which is still within the walls. I know it's a bit complicated, but to simplify it, the reason the Colossal Titan attacked the walls was so that Mali could get the founding Titan. It was the beginning of their plan to do that.
This is fascinating because we're led to believe in the beginning that it's the other way around. That it's like the people within the walls are being oppressed by the people outside. We're not even being minded. They just assume the Titans have just, been the way. But it was actually them or their ancestors
Yeah.
who are to blame. So they're suffering for the sins of their fathers, essentially.
Essentially, yeah.
Wow.
And they have no idea. That's one
Yeah.
of the great things. They have no idea of what their ancestors did. They're just living their lives. They're just born into the world, and all of a sudden they're attacked for things that happened over 100 years ago. So it is quite crazy in that respect.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, how are the Titans why does Eren and the other the ramming?
Oh, the Armored Titan.
What's her real name?
So the real name of the Armored Titan is Reiner.
Reiner, and then the Colossal Titan is
Bertolt.
Bertolt. Okay, so what exactly makes them, other than being Eldian? Did they need to undergo like some kind of process or something in order to have that transformation?
So yeah, this is one of my favorite things. In order to inherit a Titan shifter, so a Titan shifter is when you can turn into a Titan and back into a human at will, and there's only 9 of them. And so the way you become a Titan shifter is by turning into a pure Titan, which is one of this, the mindless Titans that just eat anyone.
Yeah, the real goofy looking
So you
ones.
always have to do that first. That's the first step. And then after that, you eat someone who is currently a Titan shifter. So let's say that you have the Armored Titan, and I'm an Eldian. I'm going to inject myself with a serum. I'm going to become a mindless Titan that can't think for itself. I'm going to eat you, and then I get your Titan shifter. And that's how it's been passed down throughout the thousands of years. Like, whoever has a Titan will always be eaten by someone who becomes that next Titan again.
Okay, definitely did not know that.
Yeah.
So Eren goes on to eat someone?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, so he's already eaten his dad. And he didn't know this. He didn't know that he's eaten his dad. So for the first 3 seasons, he has no idea how he got these Titan powers.
Wait, he has his lack of memories for 3 seasons?
Yeah.
Because that's established way early on.
Yeah, because like whenever someone inherits a Titan, they always they typically forget what just happened, like surrounding the event. So normally when you inherit a Titan, you have to be told how you got it because you just forget everything. And so for 3 seasons, Eren is like, I wonder how I got this Titan. Like it's kind of strange. And then we eventually come to find out that his dad basically injected him against his will, made Eren eat him. And from that moment onward, Eren had the power of the Titans.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wait, so he fork and knife his whole dad?
No, well, I mean, not fork and knife, because he became...
Oh, okay, he transformed, after getting injected, he became like a regular Titan.
Exactly.
Then consumed his father, and then became the Attack Titan.
Exactly. And also because... his whole backstory, but basically he didn't just get the Attack Titan when he did that. His dad actually had 2 Titans, the Attack Titan and the Founding Titan. So the Attack Titan's pretty cool. It has the power to transcend time in a way, but the Founding Titan's even cooler than that because it has control over every single Eldian in the planet.
Oh, so that's where we come to the iconic ending sequence where it's like, listen to me, everyone,
Yes.
I am Eren Yeager.
Yeah, the radio broadcast. Because of the Founding Titan, he can do things like that. It's an invincible power, and if anyone used it seriously, they can't be beaten. Like, you simply cannot win against the Founding Titan. But there's a caveat, which is that Eren can't use the Founding Titan properly 99% of the time.
Okay, it's just too unstable, or it's just too much power?
Not because of that, because Eren doesn't have the right blood. So only Eldians with royal blood can use the Founding Titan, and Eren isn't that. His half brother is an Eldian of royal blood, but Eren himself is just he's a normie, so he can't use it properly unless the right conditions are met.
So when do we meet his brother, and does he know he has a brother?
So he doesn't know he has a brother for 3 seasons. Yeah, I feel like I say 3 seasons a lot because everything happened in the 3rd season. But so for 3 seasons he has no idea he has a brother, and we meet his brother in the 2nd season because his brother is also a Titan shifter from Mali. That's one of the big plot twists. So Eren is born within the walls, but his older brother, was born outside the walls in a foreign country called Mali, and he's part of the people attacking the island.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is he the Beast Titan?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Yes. And I remember when I watched this for the first time, when I saw the Beast Titan, because I don't know if you've seen it, like when the Beast Titan speaks, like he speaks in English.
No. I'll plug that or part of it into this video.
Yeah. And so up until then, we'd never seen a Titan ever speak English. We had no idea what they were. We just thought they were monsters. Suddenly, the Beast Titan comes out of nowhere. He's like, he just started speaking, and I was just like freaking out. I was like, what the hell is happening?
So that's the first time it happens.
Yeah.
Wow. And you don't know that it's Aaron's brother yet.
No, you have no idea. And to be fair, he looks nothing like Aaron either, so you'd never know.
That's the thing. I think I saw him. He has like blonde hair.
Yeah.
And kind of looks Western, as you would say in these animes. Okay.
Yeah, it's an amazing plot twist.
So the founding Titan.
Yeah.
Tell me about her.
Whoever has it, him, her.
Oh, so it's passed on. So.
Yeah.
But the original founding Titan was Ymir.
That's right, yeah.
Okay, so what's her story?
So Ymir has arguably the worst story in the whole series. So she was born to a normal village like 2,000 years ago. She was completely fine. Then one day her village was attacked by the Eldians. So the original Eldians were like sort of like a Viking tribe. They just would go around killing people, pillaging, taking slaves. Like it was awful. And so she was taken as a slave, and her tongue was cut out, so she never has any dialogue. Throughout the whole series that we see her, I'm pretty sure she never says a single word. And her life was pretty miserable. She was forced to do things against her will, and it came to a point where even when she gained the power of the Titans through a lucky circumstance, she still willingly followed the orders of other people. She still followed other people because she had this like almost Stockholm syndrome, where she was in love with the king of the Eldians, even though he treated her like crap, basically.
And he R-worded her
Yes.
as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
He did, and that's why that's why Eren and everyone else exists, because they had those children that then went out.
Oh, wow, they're all products of that?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's dark.
Yeah. Every single Eldian in the present day is a descendant of Ymir and that guy, the king.
And Ymir gained this by coming in contact with, what is it, the slug thing? What is that called?
So they call it the source of all living matter. That's the name for it.
And it has, its origins aren't really established, right?
No, we know that it's been around for a long time, because in one of the later chapters we see like the origin of life on Earth, and it's seen like in the sea. So it's been around since the beginning of the
So
Earth.
that like started not just the Titans, but everything? Like fish and microbes and...
Judging by the name, I think it's implied something like that might be the case.
Wow.
Yeah.
But so it was embedded in a tree?
Yeah, that's right. So we don't know how long it was there, but for a long time it was underneath this tree, and this massive tree, by the way. So, which kind of shows that this thing can make anything gigantic, because the tree was huge. And she fell into this tree, Ymir did, and that's how she just happened to gain the power of the Titans. It was completely by accident. It wasn't meant to happen. She didn't know this was going to happen. And yeah, it was. That's how it happened. It connected to her spine as well. So that's why when the Titan powers pass down, the spine of the next person has to be eaten. So if you're a Titan, I have to eat your spine to gain your power. Because the original Titan, Ymir, her spine is what was connected to the source of all living matter. So spines are very important in this series.
Okay. So let's come to the big twist. And I remember hearing about this twist years ago when it happened, and I was very happy to hear about it. Eren's heel turn. What causes it, and what happens as a result?
So Eren's heel turn is almost a result of fate. There's an element of unavoidability, like as if it wasn't really his choice. He kind of had to do this. But at the same time, it's also a result of love as well.
Mikasa?
Mikasa, yeah. So I'll talk about the fate aspects first. So, in my opinion, and based on everything we've seen, the whole story of Attack on Titan was predetermined. Nothing could have been changed. It was meant to be this way. It's like a circle, it just repeats itself. That being said, there was a point where Eren had a chance to change everything, and that was when he asked Mikasa the question of, essentially, he wanted to know if she loved him, and he wanted to hear her say those words. And in that moment when she didn't say it, that was when Eren decided that he had to destroy the world, basically. But I kind of explained it more in one of my videos, but essentially,
I'll have the link in the description for it.
Eren was predetermined to destroy the planet. There was one moment when he was considering whether he should do it or he shouldn't do it. He nearly didn't do it. If Mikasa had said that she loved him, he wouldn't have destroyed the world. So it was partly down to her response that he decided to go through with it. But on the other hand, it was always predetermined that this would happen. So in a way, you can't blame Mikasa because it was destined. It was going to happen. So yeah.
So how does he destroy the world? Or from what I read, 80% of the population?
80%, yeah. So the walls themselves are a weapon. Ever since the beginning, they've been an amazing plot device. Inside the walls are millions of colossal titans.
Oh wait, this is where the rumbling comes from?
Yeah, this is where the rumbling comes from.
Oh my god!
Yeah. So you know, I mentioned earlier there was a king who took them to the island 100 years ago.
Yeah.
So when he did that, he used the founding titan, which can basically do anything. He used that to create these walls which have millions of titans inside them. And he basically said to the rest of the world, if you come near the island, I'll mess you up. Like I'll use these titans to destroy you. Now when he said that, he was bluffing. And that's an important point. He didn't mean it. He just said that so that no one would bother them. But then Eren took it literally, and he was like, you know what? If you're gonna come here, I think I will destroy the rest of the world. Because really, in his heart, Eren just wants to protect the people he cares about, and he knows that if he doesn't do the rumbling, you know, they tried for years to not do it. They tried for years to find alternatives to doing this, and he realized there was no other way. And so, yeah, essentially the rumbling was Eren saying, I want to protect my friends, I want to protect my family, and I'm willing to destroy the rest of humanity, like billions of people around the world, so that they can be safe from basically the people who hate us.
Oh wait, so the population is that big outside of the walls?
It's like basically like 1930s in our world.
Wow.
Like around that time. And so yeah, imagine just like waking up one day, normal day, you look outside your window, you see colossal titans marching towards you.
Yeah, I mean, it's become so iconic. I mean, just the paneling. It's happened in the anime?
It's begun. In the
Okay.
anime. It's begun. Yeah, the part 2 finale ended with the rumbling like fully underway, just tearing things apart.
So that means it was successful then. Like they just slaughter everyone.
Nearly everyone, 80% of the population, and yeah, it's pretty brutal. They animated it so well in part 2, like it honestly is fantastic.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, like I was saying, like Eren does care about his friends. That's his main motivation. But he was willing to abandon it all for Mikasa if she had said she loved him. That's what's crazy to me. If she had said yes, it would have turned out very differently.
But it presents you with the option, or the false, or the illusion of an option, because you want her to say yes, or you think about if she could, but there was never an option where she says it in the first place, because it's apparently predetermined.
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
And there's time travel, a type of time travel as well, that kind of confirmed for me that this was all meant to happen, because the time traveling, I know some people don't like it to be called that, even though it technically is, but the time travel that does happen in the series, it couldn't have happened if Mikasa had given another answer, and if that time travel didn't happen, then the things in the current series, it would just messed everything up. So it was predetermined, there was no other way, but it was an illusion of a choice. It was an illusion of choice. But Eren and all the other characters, they weren't ever really free to do anything else other than what was predetermined.
Wow. So I guess that'll bring us, because we're already pretty much at the end of the series anyway, right?
Yeah.
So
the manga's finished already. The anime's got 8 or 9 more episodes to go next year.
So as I'm sure a lot of you have different opinions on the ending, one of like the big memes even at this point is you don't understand the ending. Can you explain the ending so that
I can try.
the viewers can understand it for what it truly is?
Yeah. It is. I'll admit, it is. Aspects of it are confusing, even to me. And I speak about this basically for a living. But I'll try to explain it. So basically, for 2,000 years, Ymir, the original founding Titan, was stuck in the past dimension, and for all that time, she was making Titans for other people. She's basically following the orders of her king, because she has essentially Stockholm syndrome. She was in love with the king, even though he did all these terrible things to her. And for 2,000 years, she was waiting for someone to help her essentially break free from that curse. You know, not be in love with the person who abused her. Now, Mikasa, I'm not sure if this is, I mean, this is a big spoiler, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Bro, we're as deep as we can go at this point. Burn it down.
So Mikasa, in the same way that Ymir loved King Fritz, or in a similar way to the way Ymir loved King Fritz, Mikasa loves Eren. Right? She's obsessed with Eren. Ever since they've been together, I mean, you know, as kind of a brother and sister.
It's very Japanese, but...
Yeah. She's always looked after him, you know, whenever he's been in danger, she's been the one to put her life on the line to protect him. She said many, many times that, you know, she just wants to be near him, like she loves him in a similar way to the way Ymir loved the king. And so, by Mikasa killing Eren, in the end, for the benefit of the world, that, for whatever reason, that was enough for Ymir to say, for Ymir to break free from the curse of working for King Fritz, who was the guy that basically, you know, made her a slave. Mikasa set the example. By killing Eren, she saw that, and she was like, she basically was just like, Titans are no longer a thing. Like, once she saw that, she was like, you know what, I'm done here. And after that moment, the power of the Titans disappeared from the world. She disappeared from the world, because essentially she wanted to see someone that was so in love with another person that was willing to break free from that love, essentially. It was really, at first read, it is weird. There was this one iconic panel of Mikasa, she's beheaded Eren and she kisses him. And I remember when that came out, a lot of people were just like, what the hell? Even I was a bit like, this is kind of interesting. But yeah, this is what Isayama wanted to do. Attack on Titan is essentially a love story. Even though 99% of the chapters are not about love, in the end, it is essentially a love story, which is quite interesting. And now the real ending of Attack on Titan came after that, which was set in the far, far future. And I like this ending. It's basically essentially showing that the cycle of hatred, you know, when one person does something to another and then that person gets revenge and then they get revenge for that and they get revenge for that cycle never ends. And that is what the ending was trying to show. So even after Eren has wiped out, you know, 80% of humanity in the hope that the island, the people he loves will be safe, in the far, far future, that debt is repaid, you know. Him doing that to the rest of the world inevitably caused the rest of the world to retaliate against the people that he loves. And so, although Mikasa and everyone else, they got to live long lives like he wanted, the island itself was destroyed, like, it's implied like hundreds of years later, as revenge for what Eren did. So, and I'm sure in the future after that, the island will fight back against the rest of the world and it will just keep going.
Oh my God.
It's an endless cycle. It's an endless cycle. But I think what a lot of people didn't like about that ending was that they thought that what Eren did was for nothing because like the island was destroyed. But I don't think it was that way. Commander Erwin, one of the most important characters in the series, he said that humans will never stop fighting until there is either one human or zero, one human or less. And what he meant by that was that no matter what, people will always fight. You know, if Eren had wiped out all humans outside the walls, there still would have been conflict inside the walls. Like, it's unavoidable. So Eren, in my opinion, he did succeed in what he wanted because his friends all lived long lives just like he planned. Yes, the island itself suffered in the end, but ultimately he still got what he wanted. You know, Mikasa died an old woman. She lived a full life, a happy life, we think. So yeah, that was the ending.
So Eren doesn't get anything he wants because there's that iconic panel of him saying, "I don't want her to be with another man."
But this is the thing. He wants her to be happy though.
Yeah, that is true. That is what he says. Even though I don't want this, I still want her to be happy.
Yeah.
So I guess he does.
He gets what he wants.
Bittersweet.
Because,
get what he wants.
Yeah, he knows that he can't survive this. Because if he survives, then essentially his friends are heroes for killing him, you know? So if he was to live, then, you know, they wouldn't be able to get this status and everything that they got when he died. And also, he didn't actually know what would happen after he died. Although he could see the future to an extent, he didn't know what would happen after that. So he was kind of just hoping that everyone would be okay. And for the most part, he was right.
Wow.
But yeah. It was a crazy ending, and also the very last panel was something I loved. It was the Power of the Titans disappeared, like I said, when Ymir disappeared. But the final panel is of basically they buried Eren's head. You know, Mikasa decapitated him. They buried his head. Like hundreds of years later, where he was buried, there's a massive tree.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's still coming full circle.
Yeah.
Is there any implications that the tree is like supernatural in a way? Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
It looks exactly like the tree that Ymir fell into.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that.
It's like proper full circle. And there's a kid who just comes out of nowhere in the forest. And he's like, what's in this tree?
I hope I don't fall into it.
Yeah.
Nice.
And the funny thing, he has a dog with him as well. That dog could become the next like founding titan.
Wow.
Yeah.
That wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
it's-
Well, I mean, you put it very nicely. I'm sure, you know, through the eyes of somebody else, it could be differently.
Yeah.
But wow.
It is the best story I've ever read.
Yeah, now I definitely have the motivation now to go into it. But thank you for explaining it. I hope some of you guys took something away from this, especially those of you who say that others don't understand the ending, or maybe if you didn't understand it yourself. Now you do. Please subscribe to Turtle Quirk's channel. In case you haven't, he's covered how many seasons so far?
Well, I've covered a lot of the manga, basically all of the manga in terms of like the lore and stuff. So if you want to have the lore explained, I have all those type of videos. I explain all the 9 Titans, all the abnormal Titans, bunch of other stuff as well. And yeah, for season 4, the final season, I've explained all the episodes from beginning till now, and I will be doing part 3 when it comes out in 2023. So yeah, subscribe if you want to see breakdowns for that. And yeah, I'll try my best to explain it for you.
So there you go, guys.